I have given a name to my pain. The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham.
You don't really think you'll win, do you? I'm Batman.
You're listening to episode 124 of the Batman on Film podcast. My name is Justin, and with me today is Mr. Ryan Haas. How you doing, Ryan?
Yo, I am doing great.
That is fantastic.
Yes.
And extra special, once again, we have back our EIC, Master of Commander, Bill Jett Ramey. How you doing, Bill?
Hey now, I'm doing good.
He had a little
really
taste
good.
last time, and now he's back. He knows.
Yes, I've been ordered. I have to do at least one a month. So I mean, look, since I have nothing else to do really, so why not? Let's and you know, starting to hopefully get into some Batman on film talk. So
Yeah.
that gets me excited. Yeah,
Exactly. And we are Batman on Film, authoritative, definitive,
Dadgum
original. There you go. I was waiting. Come on, Bill. You have to say it.
Dadgum original.
Dadgum original Batman on Film. So please visit
I
Batman
was-
on... Oh.
No, I was just gonna say before you continue, because it reminded me, someone on not the Facebook fan group, but the other one, just the Batman on Film fan page on Facebook, asked what does dadgum mean, and someone replied what it means. You know, it's just a nicer way. I think they said it's a nicer way to say "gee, damn it," and the response was, well, he really shouldn't use that because if you curse, that shows how you have a low IQ. So apparently, dadgum
Leech on society.
means, I have a low IQ. So anyway, carry on.
There you go. BatmanOnFilm.com. Please check out BatmanOnFilm.com where we have a whole bunch of stuff going on, especially we talked about last episode. If you check it out, we have a lot of the old Dark Knight articles that you wrote 10 years ago coming through there again. Those are a nice read. We also have...
Man, people appreciated that Dark Knight 10th anniversary show we did.
Oh, yeah. That was a good show.
I got a lot of positive feedback on that.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. So
Yeah, it was a
made me
good
feel
show.
good.
Yeah, well, that's good. So you can also check out a lot of the reviews. We have Death of Superman animated review. A lot of comic reviews are coming in. Some op-eds, and you know, as you continue your timeline, your Batman. You know what? People check out the Batman timelines. That's pretty good stuff. It's good stuff it'll bring up some of the things you may have forgot that have been going on with Batman. You know, you just did 2001, which doesn't seem so far away, and.
No.
It was
17
cool.
years ago. Can you believe that?
Oh my gosh. And so it was cool to kind of revisit that. It reminded me that's when Dark Knight Strikes Again came out, and I never finished purchasing that. I remember buying the first issue, and I was like,
The first two, and then they kept delaying it. Yeah.
oh yeah. So I finally ended up getting it. I got the omnibus of Dark Knight Returns, and they threw that in the back of it. So that's how I finished it. And all right.
It's the only way they trick people into getting that.
Yeah, they're like,
Put it in the omnibus.
yeah.
We should just do a show on that one day. Just Dark
We
Knight.
really should.
Oh yeah, we should. That would be good.
Yeah,
So,
or 2 and 3 combined or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, that'd be good.
3 I really like. Really
Yeah,
like
three was
so
definitely a step up.
It was.
But all right, but
Brian
go check out.
Brian Azzarello probably had. No, yeah, it was Brian Azzarello.
Yeah, it was Azzarello. Yeah,
it was Azzarello. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Pretty much
he
wrote the damn thing. So
he guided that one. But Miller's going to be doing that Superman story, so we'll see.
yeah,
That
See
I'm
how that
interested
goes.
in that.
Yeah. But yeah, check all this stuff out at BatmanOnFilm.com. And then finally, if you want to support the show, please head over to Patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm, where you can support what we're doing and partner with us and help us to make the show better. So that being said, we are going to jump right into some news that broke on August 2nd. So Matt Reeves was kind of at some type of, what was it, presser for, what was
Television Film Critics Association.
There you go.
Panel.
it? Okay.
What it was, and I guess what is it? Kind of like what are those up? It's kind of like upfronts, right? Something like that, where shows are presented.
Yeah, he was talking about
and-
the show, that Fox show he has, The Passage.
Yeah.
And after the panel, a lot of the reporters came up and, obviously they're going to ask him, hey, what's going on with Batman? And so he was talking about the shooting draft and start dates and, kind of had a dance around the Affleck stuff. And he addressed the year one stuff that was going on. So first let's jump into the script, saying the script will be done. What did he say? About next couple of weeks, he said that the script was going to be done. What are you guys' thoughts on the script being complete and ready to go?
The quote is that we're working on our draft in the next couple weeks. Right now, my head is totally into the script, and he said that he was going to be leaving that TCA right after that to go back to work on the script. So it's refreshing to hear that he's, head down script mode, really trying to hone the story and get the whole thing done. Because the last update we had was that there was like a first act or something turned in.
That's what I was going to say. Is like he's done significant work since that last.
Yeah, exactly. Report. So now
that was a month ago,
it's
right?
Like wasn't it around like Memorial Day or something like that?
Yeah,
close to that.
Oh, that's right. It was around
somewhere
May.
around there. Yeah.
Yeah, but what was even more interesting to me is that he kind of like, a while ago, BOF had a report. Bill made a report that said that, early work was starting, and we even talked about this on a podcast about like it was probably things like early concept art and things that they can start exploring based on the script that they have. And he even said that in the deadline version of the article. He said, we have conceptual stuff going and coming into being, and my head is totally in the script. So it's good that like he's written the script, he's got concepts and stuff that's getting made, and maybe that's even informing, giving him extra ideas as he completes the script too.
So you're telling me I was right, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Well, I saw a lot of different outlets reported that Batman on Film is reporting a lot of the pre-production work starting to go on. Yeah. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was with the script and everything coming in, and they're starting to work. Have they actually officially said, "Hey, Matt Reeves is directing Batman"? The Batman, or whatever it's going to be called. Have they made an official like? Hey,
yes.
Matt Reeves is working on this. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, they sent out a press release.
Okay. I was
not long after he finally. If you remember, he
was in negotiations and then pulled out, and then
he left, and then he came back because I'm sure he wanted a lot more creative control. It was it was a negotiation. So anyway, he's back, and once he was back and signed on, they did issue a press release. So he is officially directing and everything. Yeah. Yes. Now it may not happen. That's a possibility. A lot of times you get how many times we've seen recently with DC films where you have a creative team sign on and to write and direct, or to direct and nothing happens. So I mean, I honestly feel pretty good about this one. So I don't think he's going to. I don't think anything's going to happen. Fingers crossed. I think if it did, it would be an absolute PR nightmare for not only for Batman on Film, but for DC on Film to lose him as director of this Batman film.
Yeah, there's no good reason for him to not be on this thing.
So that's nothing that was really from the presser. So, but just to kind of recap what's been going on the last year or so with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's been quiet, obviously, with
a lot
of the news.
Hey, look, let this, what drives me nuts is people go, he's not even finished the script yet, and blah, blah, blah. Hey, look, patience. I mean,
yeah,
it hasn't even been a year since the last time we saw Batman in a live-action film. Mm-hmm. It's not like the days between Batman and Robin and Batman Begins. So just, come on, let.
Yeah, and it takes time to make this stuff. Like, it's not like let me just bang this thing out in a month and we're going to get rolling.
Absolutely.
Like you said, like they're just starting to put like pre-production stuff together. Mm-hmm. I mean, that takes time. And so, set building and just, I'm sure there's costume design and all that type of stuff. And they probably have all that stuff kind of sketched out and on boards, and they're looking at like what works, and like that takes time to create all that stuff, especially if they want to, like he mentioned in the article, he wants to hopefully go start rolling in spring or summer. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's almost a year away, so there's still a lot more time to work on things and begin kind of the fun stuff. The fun stuff like we talked about it last week with the whole Dark Knight stuff like that. We're headed into fun time of like what's going on, who's in this film, because we still don't know,
or what this film is,
or what this film is. So let's jump into the big elephant is the whole Affleck thing. People took some of his comments as like he said Reeves said that Affleck is still involved, but that it's too early to talk in which capacity. Right? Let's break that down. That
says everything. I mean, that's translate that. Yeah.
Let's just call it like it is. If Ben Affleck was going to star in this movie, they would say it.
Yeah,
they would say it. There's no reason why they wouldn't, because of he's still contractually is the Batman in this film, but he's not going to be the Batman in this film. He's not going to be.
Well, see, here's the thing, Bill. It's like if he was definitely going to be in the film, of course he could say it. But if he wasn't going to be in the film, he probably can't say that right now. That might be above him to even make that call or say that right now.
Absolutely. And what I said in the article I wrote was that the capacity that he's involved, maybe they may give him an executive producer credit on this, just because. So I don't think that he's going to perform as an actor in this film at all. I know a lot of people have said, well, maybe they bookend it like they did Wonder Woman. I just look, if you go with a new Batman and he's younger, just come on. You don't need the specter of Ben Affleck and then the BVS and Justice League stuff that comes with it. That's just my personal opinion. Just if it was me and I'm cast as a new Batman, I don't want Affleck, albatross and around my neck thing going on. I think it's just best for the whole project. That's just me. I mean, y'all may have a different opinion.
Here's where I'm at with it. Like, I'm a huge fan of Affleck's Batman. I don't think he's coming back. I just like even that like 5% like he could. I mean, what if he does? We just don't know right now. I mean, it would be very surprising if they're like, oh yeah, he's gonna be like what was it? Yesterday we had a really like a big back and forth on like all this Batman stuff on Twitter. If you guys saw it, and we were everyone has different like thoughts. And what was it? Mario was saying if he bookended it, I just like you said, Bill. I don't know if that would work.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah,
it would feel like, okay, here's Affleck again, and then so we're telling.
I don't think that's a cool way to.
It just seems corny. What's he gonna sit down and is he gonna be in the bat suit at the bat computer and he's gonna be typing like his memoirs? Like what? That was
it's like the Black Case book from Grant Morrison's run.
Yeah.
I mean, well, that would actually be kind of cool if they did some type of. I love that Black Case book, but
it is cool. But here's like my angle on it though is like if it's what Reeves wants, sure. But I can't imagine that he's taking this job to do the Batman film he wants to make, and if he goes down the road of, okay, let's make Affleck bookend it with his Batman, but that means that the Batman in Reeves movie is Affleck's Batman, which has all that connotation to it. Yes. And if it was always going to be like the Affleck version of Batman, I don't think that he's being very politically correct and not really saying one way or the other. So it makes me feel like if he's making the movie he wants to make, it's going to not be connected really. So
I mean, look, it can be quote unquote a prequel, right?
Yeah.
Down the line,
and then you just soft reboot as you go forward, and if people want to say, okay, I'm watching this is the Batman I saw in BVS and Justice League, you can.
Yeah. But it's not explicit.
It's not explicit,
and putting Affleck in the movie would make it that, and I don't think that they want to do that.
I mean, I said it's an albatross around the neck of the entire project. You just don't. You want something. Well, he said it. Something new and something cool. And I think if with Affleck involved as an actor, let's say the bookend thing, that's you're stamping that as, well, this really isn't anything new.
Well, that's what I think it's good if they do this, and this is all guesses and probably educated guesses. This is going to take place early years it sounds like, and that way they avoid all of that stuff, and they can just tell an isolated Batman story. The only thing that and here's where I think me and Bill disagree. I feel like it's still going to be connected in the sense it is the same Batman. They're just not going to reference these things moving forward. I feel like that if it was a different thing, they would put it in that DC Black type of label. But
I don't.
Well, we don't even know if that's. Yeah. We don't even know if it is or not.
I don't disagree with that at all. I think with if it's a quote unquote prequel, you really kind of Batman Forever it in a way, and then you just soft reboot as you go forward and kind of just ignore. I mean, frankly, you just ignore what happened in Justice League and BVS.
Yeah, you don't need to work towards that at all.
As long as he's younger than Affleck, you could theoretically say that it fits.
Yes, yeah. I think the fans who want it to be part of a connected universe can watch it and say, okay, this is part of a connected universe, but there's no overt or they're not banging the audience over the head with it. And plus, if he's younger. Except for Wonder Woman, none of these characters exist yet.
Exactly.
Superman is a child in Smallville, probably, maybe, if not younger. And you saw in Justice League or in BVS first. That's how they were introduced. Superman was supposed to be the first one originally, and of course we found out Batman was 20 years, prior to that.
In the town right next to Metropolis.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Okay. So I think if the fans who are saying if it's a prequel, but it's still part of these DC, I don't want to call it DCEU anymore because it was just that was.
I just call it DCU.
DC, yeah, the DC on film.
DC
Lad
films.
Cop, I used to call it, but live action DC on film. But you're not. That's the point. If he's younger, then there's really not a DC universe yet, except for, we know that, Wonder Woman's going to be in the 80s now because they're soft rebooting that from how it was established in BVS. So, I have no problem with that at all. So, but I want Reeves as Batman. I want to see a new suit. I want to see new Batmobile and all that cool stuff.
Yeah.
That's part of the fun. I don't want to. I don't want to rehash of what we've already seen before.
Yeah, it would be weird to see because he's gonna have his own aesthetic to what he does.
Absolutely.
And there is a part where it has to kind of fit into the idea of what's been established, but at the same time, a great example of this is what James Wan is doing with Aquaman. Like you look at that Mera costume, what she is wearing in the Aquaman trailer that you see is way different, a lot sleeker than what was shown in her small part in Justice League.
Right, it's a lot more comic book inspired too.
Yeah,
it's closer to that.
Yeah. I mean, you can say that was just a different. Oh, that was her underwater battle area outfit, or whatever. Make up whatever you want, but the directors need to have a little bit of freedom to. Hey, this is how I want it to be.
Yeah, clearly Juan, he had to inherit Momoa and.
All right.
Mera. Now, what's her name?
Amber Heard.
Amber Heard, yeah. Amber Heard. She's from Austin. She's a Texan. But so you inherit those actors, but even with Juan, much like Matt Reeves, he took that gig because if he was going to be allowed to do what he wanted to do. So you can tell it looks different than what even the and I hate to get off on Aquaman.
No, that's cool.
But the what we saw of Atlantis and all that in the trailer looks a lot different than what we saw in Justice League. You know?
Well, he said,
and that was intentional.
Yeah, and he said that he asked them, "Hey, don't show Atlantis in Justice League." They kind of showed like a random little
little chamber,
like in Justice League. I guess they talk underwater, right?
With the bubble.
They don't. Do they separate that thing again like she did in?
No, they said they're just going to ignore it. It's like they just talk.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's different. So,
they need to do that sound. Just do that sound. But what was my point? I was just going back to like Reeves just needs to be able to do what he wants to do, and then like you were saying, Bill, everyone can connect their own lines moving forward. And there you go. Like we don't building up to any of these movies, I don't think is a smart thing. I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah.
But at one point,
the quote itself even says that. It says, like, you know, Matt Reeves said there are ways in which this movie connects to DC, to the DC universe. We're one piece of many pieces. Yeah. So I don't want to comment on that except to say I'm focused very specifically on this aspect of the DC world. So it's like Batman only is what that says to me.
And he said before that that by default Batman is part of the DC universe just because it's Batman,
right?
You know, so
what I read into that is I wonder if there's more to that statement than, you know, we're all interpreting it differently. I'm interpreting it as, well, is he gonna help shepherd some of these other, like a Nightwing film that's kind of been on the back burner for a little bit with Chris McKay? Does he have input to that world? Because
if I think like if that is the crux, if it's somehow the crux of what he wants to do, like if he wanted to do more than a film, I think if he came in and said, I want to do this film, but I want to have it leave the door open for a bunch of other stuff, I'm sure Warner Brothers would have let him do that. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if that's what he wanted to do or not, you know, with the one film that he's concentrated on right now. And he even said that too, like there's been two things, like even early on, like people were asking him, oh, do you have a trilogy in mind or 3 movies? And he said things like, I think he talked about like, he was interested in a trilogy, but he's also wanted to be very focused on one film first.
It sounds like he's doing a Nolan where you make the film you want to make. Yeah, and a sequel will take care of itself if it's if there's a sequel there, and that's fine. I don't think you should hold anything back. If you want to use, if you want to use Black Mask in this movie of Reeves, don't say, we could use. He'd be really cool in the sequel though, so let's save him. Just use whatever you want to use to tell the story you want to tell. So
and then he does go and jump in and. Robin's brought up, and he just says he can't comment on any of that stuff. So that could mean anything. That could mean he's just not in it, or he's in it, and I don't want to talk about it yet. We don't know. I hope that they add Robin to this film. I think it would be an interesting take to have on Robin that we haven't had.
And if they are, and I would want it to be Dick Grayson, to be honest.
Yeah.
Honestly, me.
But if it's connected, then he has to die and all that.
Yes, that's what I was about to bring up. Well, he's
he does, but that's what Snyder said was it was supposed to be. Yeah. But you never get a name.
We never know.
Yeah, but
you can say you can make it whatever you want. Then.
I don't.
Yeah, but if it's connected, then there's still a connotation.
Even if it's ambiguous, even if it ended up being Jason Todd. Yeah. I don't want to already know that. At some point, Robin's going to die. It takes away. Maybe not. I mean, that's why I say, you can quote unquote prequel it, but then you just kind of do your own thing moving forward, and you just forget about.
Yeah. I mean, but fan reaction just to that news last week. No one was into that idea.
No one liked it because it was Dick Grayson.
But also Gordon was supposed to be dead in BVS as well, and he showed up.
A rumor,
So
yes,
I mean, sometimes it does work in comics, like Dark Knight Returns, Jason Todd's dead, right? Well, I think that was the first time we ever knew that Jason Todd was dead. That was before he died in the comics even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, years later, we get this really great, The Dark Knight Last Crusade, where you find out what happens to Jason. And that's a great, standalone story.
It is.
So, I mean, it could work, but that's all within this. I'd say, it's in the same confines of the same storyteller. And so I don't know if, Reeves inheriting that is what he would want, and he didn't sign on for that.
Yeah, I mean,
look at White Knight. White Knight altered the I want to say position, the numbering. I mean, the order of the Robins. And White Knight, Jason Todd was the first Robin. So
but Sean Murphy was like he said he didn't know why he did that. It was weird. So I was like, do you not know the lore or I don't know. I'm assuming he does. But
you actually could have told this. You could have told the same story and still had him be the second first Robin.
Yeah.
Dick Grayson, the first Robin who becomes Nightwing. Anyway, we're getting on White Knight. I mean, I loved it.
Go buy White Knight. It's great. So I don't know. Any other thoughts about where this thing is going to take place?
And like time
in the timeline.
like time
I
frame
mean,
or
because I think everybody wants this thing to be its own deal. I think Reeves has, everyone's on board with Reeves. I think the stuff that is murky is just, who's involved and where it takes place and is it in the universe.
Personally, I want it to be complete reboot. I just, and if you want to call it a prequel, just to be politically correct or not try to alienate these, these diehard fans of what came before, that's fine. But ultimately, I don't think it really matters because number one, all those folks they're going to go see the movie anyway.
Yep.
Even if they complain and carry on, they're going to go see it. And really, I mean, the mainstream audience, which is 98% plus of what makes up a movie going audience overall, they're not going to care. I mean, we've been through changes with Batman. We've been, it's just not anything they're going to go, huh? What? I mean, there's people who love The Dark Knight and love Batman Begins and thought the whole thing was a prequel to Batman '89.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that stuff matters.
If it looks good and it's got good word of mouth, people will go see it.
Yeah, and it's Batman. I mean, that's
and it's Batman. And Justice League, by comparison, didn't really have that because for all those reasons. But the thing that stands out to me the most in these quotes is that whenever Reeves starts to talk about the film, it's always character driven or personal or connect. Instead of epic, interconnected, multi-part leads into something else thing. Just hearing him say stuff
but no one says that though. I mean, as far as these DC films, no one's saying, "Oh, this ties into this or that." It's just, "Hey, I'm making my Aquaman movie."
BVS was we're doing Batman and Superman. It's going to lead into Justice League. It's going to lead into Justice League 2. It's going to lead into...
I'm talking about now, this new era of films.
But I'm saying it's refreshing to hear him say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just to hear him say, I'm excited to be focused on a tale that's defining for Batman and is very personal to him, but at the same time, they're not doing any origin tales, but definitively Batman, emotional, and being the world's greatest detective. That's all good stuff.
With that quote, there's people when they read that, they envision, it's going to be just like it was before, that we're still going to get these setups and these cameos and these post-credit scenes. And I think that all that stuff has been taken off the table. And even now, we're hearing that Cavill, he didn't do a Superman cameo and Shazam, even though they have all of that, clearly it's part of, BVS Man of Steel stuff is in it. So,
I think they're just moving forward, though. I mean,
yes,
they're in a situation where
move forward.
Absolutely. When they were writing that movie, they probably were like, "Hey, if this kid loves all these guys, there's not a whole bunch of information they can pull from to inspire this kid." So that's what they had. And I don't think they're going to move forward and they're going to be like, "Remember the World Engine?" They may just go.
I was talking to Rick about it, and I said, when they were developing that movie, that was the old regime was still there. And probably by the time
Jeff Johns helping him do scripts.
Probably by the time they got to, you got through pre-production, they're ready to film. That's when the dam broke and all the changes started happening. Yeah. They really had no option except to do what they planned on doing. But I don't think that's going to necessarily affect Shazam.
Right.
The one thing that worries me, and I also told, I said, that kid that plays Billy Batson, he's going to age out of that role really, really quick.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, he's on the verge of looking like,
if they take as long as they, if they Man of Steel it and wait 10 years to do a sequel, he'll be like 30 by the time he gets a sequel.
What is he? He's about 13, isn't he? 13 or 14?
No, I think he's like 15.
I think he's older. Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah. Okay, he's gonna look like a dude here. I mean,
I'm telling you,
he's 15 right now.
When that kid was cast, they showed this picture of him when he was 9, I swear. And then because you see the trailer, I'm like, oh, this kid's in a car. What the heck's going on? So,
he's 15. So
I think the only reason, this is a completely different topic, that Shazam even went before the Lens is because it was at New Line and not at Warner Brothers.
Right.
Yeah.
I think New Line was like, well, we're gonna, because Warner Brothers passed on it, according to Johns. They were like, yeah, they just passed, and so New Line was like, we'll do it, let's make it happen. But they're still, in that world of DC, but I think they were just like, yeah, we can make it happen. Let's move
Yeah,
forward.
if you just keep that stuff like we've seen in the. Now we're talking about Shazam. This turned out as Batman, but that's fine. That's cool.
We're gonna get back to
Yeah,
Batman.
I mean, if you just keep it in that little, with the, they're fans, they're comic fans, they're Superman fans, or Batman fan, whatever, and they really exist. That's fine. Just use like we've seen in the trailers and the pictures. It's just it's in the periphery. It's in the background.
It's part of the lore, but it's not like part
Yeah.
of the story.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Per
And
se.
that's probably what it's gonna be.
And that, okay.
So-
Sorry for that. Shazam.
No worries. As we talk about this being a reboot and all the other stuff, the only thing that, as I think about it, now this isn't desire, this is just as I think about business and stuff, as I feel like these movies, like with Wonder Woman and Aquaman, this side of these DC films, they're the ones that do coexist, even though they're having their separate stories. But this DC
Right.
Black label, I feel, is their kind of their art house label. You're doing the small budget. You're doing.
Yeah.
I just don't. If they do, that's like a third universe they're creating. If this is a complete like reboot and break, that's the only thing I see being not weird, but like
branding wise.
Yeah, exactly. Branding wise. How does that?
My caveat to that is like Batman is already Batman. Like Batman is like another pillar of he's his own pillar almost.
Yeah.
And with the Black label, like that's a Joker movie too, and I think maybe that's, I mean, it's weird to us in some ways, but maybe that's why it makes sense to them, because they're like, well, it's Batman, people are still going to give it a shot even though it's this little offshoot.
But I thought
thing we're
Black
trying to
Label
do,
was
so.
supposed to be more of a one-off.
And we're just calling it that. There's still no official name
Yeah,
for it. So.
Yeah. I think that's the line of comics they have is DC.
Yeah.
Yes.
DC
yes.
Black. So yeah.
Are they okay? I'm gonna go off on a tangent again, but I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Is the DC Black? I thought it was going to be like non-continuity, but now it's in continuity. What's
It
I think
depends on
it
the
depends
creator.
on the story. Yeah,
Like
it's
Scott
just-
Snyder's thing.
It allows them to have
Bermejo's thing is a
freedom.
sequel to Joker, actually, I believe.
Oh, is it?
Is it?
I believe it is. It's in the same world as that. So it's like whatever they want it to be.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there's just a little less editorial mandates on them. They can maybe push like the content a little more.
Right.
Is what
and
I
like
feel
White
like
Knight
they
is
can do.
retroactively going to be the first Black Label book too.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
they're doing
They'll
that.
probably when they collect it, they'll probably put it under Black Label.
Yep. Yeah, it's got it
Okay.
on there already.
All right. I'm sorry, just asking questions.
No,
It's
that's a
great.
good
This is good
Okay.
stuff.
It came up a lot with that whole Three Jokers thing that was coming out.
Right, because
So-
that is in continuity.
Yes.
See?
Yeah. But John, that's exactly what John said, was like, it's going to be under the Black Label because of where they want to take the story, is what he said. So,
Okay.
yeah.
right.
So, there you go. So, but it would be interesting if they were going to brand the film division the same as this, kind of like, hey, here's our cousin in the film side. Like,
I think
this
that
is
would not be a bad idea.
This is
I-
what DC
I-
Black
personally,
is.
that's
DC
cool.
Black.
Whatever.
DC Black is just a different exploration of these characters.
That's
All right,
fine.
Yeah.
works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got. Hopefully, they figure that crap out at some point. Like,
Yeah.
what do you call this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this? Anyways, so I don't really have a whole bunch more. Like,
Yeah.
do we want to dive deeper on any of these things?
I think
we did.
I think we just covered.
Yeah, I think.
Kind of explained what we
Yeah.
think it means and kind of put our own take on it, and then I mean, yeah, I mean,
But overall, it's not too much new information than we've already had, other than the script's almost done and
Yeah.
we're filming or maybe filming next year. Those are the two big actual newsworthy pieces. I mean, everything else is kind of stuff we've already known, and I think Reeves was clearly towing the line, not like being pretty PC about what he was saying, and not revealing too much, or
absolutely. He was being that when it comes in regards to Affleck, and also in regards to where it fits in with the DC owned film universe.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty much, it's a Batman film first and foremost.
Yeah.
I don't think that the audience or fans should expect to see a bunch of winks and nods to anything else, and unless it's Batman related, that's fine. Other characters in the world of Batman, whether they be heroes or villains, and look. And as far as Affleck, I know because I get this a lot. there's not going to be this press release that says Ben Affleck is no longer Batman, and that's not going to happen. What will likely happen is that when Reeves is ready to roll and he's cast his guy, they'll have a press release and announce, the new actor. They could word it, you want to do a story with a younger Batman, so we did that. And you kind of give, give Affleck an out, throw in, give him an EP credit, and then, look, he's got a bunch of other stuff going on now. This Monopoly scandal thing that he and Matt Reeves, him and Matt Damon, bought along with Fox. I guess Fox was the studio that he's going. That's going to be a directing gig for him. He's doing other stuff.
That's just weird because is that going to be like a Disney thing now? Since Disney now has.
That's a whole by the time it comes out. Yeah.
Like, how does that even operate?
Yeah. So I mean, look, I hope that I'm looking forward to the guy getting his direct A+ director's groove back on, because he is a fantastic filmmaker, and I'm a fan regardless. Even if I want to move on from him as Batman, because I think there's so much baggage, and I want something new and and to be excited about new stuff with Batman. Yeah, and that's. I
mean, if he was very excited and he was making the movie and he was that champion of the character, that would be awesome. But there's too much other stuff going on. There's too much drama. Yeah, and there was Justice League and stuff like that. So I want to think a lot of people, although they like the character and like the way he was in BVS, I think a lot of people have also conveniently forgot about Justice League too. That liked BVS at the moment.
Yeah. So. Hey, that's all I got, boys. And I'm just glad we got the chance to talk about it today. So.
Yeah. Hey, Bill, I want to pull something on you.
Okay.
And we haven't done it in a long time.
Okay.
What Batman thing did you do this week?
Ooh.
We used to do those.
Besides work on Batman on film, huh? Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh man, I watched Batman '89 just out of the blue.
All right.
I'm holding off watching Dark Knight until I see it on that IMAX screening in a few weeks. So I don't have that in my rotation. And I played a little bit of the original Arkham Asylum game. Because I've got
on the remake.
I've got the when
Return to Arkham.
Yeah, I got that. So I played a good hour or so of that game. So that's what I did Batman this week.
That's good, man. Retirement is going to do you well.
Oh, I'm in such a good mood. I mean, I can't tell you, because I would have been back at work last Monday for coaching, and then. I usually started the last few years. I'd start getting right after July 4th. I'd start getting in a pissy mood because I knew what was coming. And now, I'm just walk around, smile on my face, and good mood most of the time. So,
there you go.
Have it, yeah.
All right, that's awesome. That's fun to hear. I was like, let's. We remember we used to do that all the time. So, all right, we'll wrap it up and we'll do some plugs. Ryan, you got anything to plug?
Well, I was going to ask you, Justin. Just if we can talk about a sec for this, because we both did this last week. I'm pretty sure. Solid Teen Titans Go to the movies.
Oh yeah, we did.
That's a movie. It was in the theater.
Yeah, I wanted to record my kids, their reactions to it. They get tongue tied as soon as you put a mic in front of them. It was good. That's what you're going to get for an hour.
Yeah.
So,
I enjoyed that movie. I went and saw it.
Man,
we have a brand new Alamo Draft House here in Raleigh.
Yeah.
It's only been open for like 2 months. And I haven't yet been until this past week. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go like at 10 p.m. I went and saw Teen Titans Go to the movies.
That's a weird time for them to play a movie like that.
Yeah, I know, but I went with it, and when you're a new parent, that's the only time you can go see movies during the week. So I went and did that, and man, it was a good time. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun movie.
It's a fun little movie. Just the humor and stuff. If you're a fan of the characters, like the in jokes and stuff, were just really well done. I enjoyed myself on the same level as Lego Batman. To be honest, it was a good time.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to see it tomorrow. I already got tickets.
Good.
I missed the.
You'll laugh your ass off.
I couldn't make the press screening. I'd signed up to go, but and then I haven't had a chance, so I'm going to go tomorrow.
Yeah, it's
I can't wait
really
to see what
funny.
you think.
Like,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Like, I think at just different levels because I watch the show with my kids like all the time, and so I'm just kind of used to how their humor is now. Because if you're not used to the humor of the show, it might be like, well, what the heck? But I
wasn't, and I knew what the show was, but I don't watch it, and it still worked for me. Like I got it, right away. So.
Like, cool. So this whole Teen Titans Go show is, it's very joke. It's very situational, like,
self-referential.
They'll have episodes based on like how to get sandwiches and stuff. I mean, they're not fighting villains all the time. There's once in a while, but it's kind of meta in how it deals with, some of their stuff. And they actually acknowledge like how people have complained, we want the old show back and all that type of stuff. And they'll sometimes encounter this old like version of themselves. Anyways, funny movie.
Yeah, just stay for the post-credits scene.
You know what? The best part of these movies is the background stuff, because they poke fun at everything. Batman versus Superman, all the different types of DC lore. They like make movie posters of everything, and it's good stuff. Yeah. So yeah, if you're deep in your DC knowledge, you'll probably enjoy it more. If you're casual, you'll still get a lot of the jokes, but it was really fun. I like that movie a lot.
I just remembered one other Batman thing I did, and maybe I'll share it. Maybe it'll make me look goofy as hell, but whatever. One of my cardio workouts I did this week has mixed martial arts in it. So I probably know where I'm going with this already. So
yeah,
when I was doing these mixed martial cardio moves during the workout, I was going, I'm kind of like Batman right now in my head. So just imagine a 52-year-old man doing mixed martial arts in his living room, and in his head he's going, this is very Batman right here. So,
just like the Dark Knight Returns.
Yes.
There you go.
All right,
Ryan, what do you got to plug?
Just follow me on Twitter at SMB_Ryan, and check out the Robin Everyone Loves the Drake podcast on Twitter at ELTD podcast. The last couple shows have been kind of our summer break show. We've been answering lots of questions about feedback from our really good audio drama we did for A Lonely Place of Dying arc from Detective Comics, and it's just it's a good time. So these past couple episodes are just kind of like put them on, just have a good time listening to them. Yeah. So check it out. Man, Batman was fantastic on that radio drama. I'm just saying. He was the best. Yes. Awesome. So hey, if you're missing Rick, like some of you are, maybe some of you are, maybe some of you are like, oh man, a break. I need a Rick shoe this week. You can listen to me and Rick talk about Guns N' Roses on the Let's Go podcast we did last week, which actually came out of a Batman on Film conversation we were having. We were kind of talking about how, the Dark Knight episode was cool. It was like the band's back together, and we were like, Bill is freaking Axl, and then Rick for some reason thinks he's really cool, and so he said he was Slash, and then I just said, well, then I'm Duff because I used to play bass too. And then Ryan is Dizzy on keyboards, like just because he's the only other member that's still been around for a long time. What was it? Were y'all debating or just talking about? No, we were really just talking about it. Some people thought we were going to debate. We were just talking about like kind of their history and some of the songs we liked. It was kind of casual. I think Rick threw out or something. We're going to debate the best. What's the best? Yeah, he said we're going to debate, but it didn't really come down to a debate. We kind of agreed mostly. Like the only thing that he did, and I'm hoping he's listening to this right now. That boy loves Motley Crue. He just brought Motley Crue up way too much for a Guns N' Roses show. And I'm like, they're just two different things, man. Like, my whole thing is Motley Crue is kind of a joke, where Guns N' Roses is like the real deal. I like Motley Crue, but I'll take Guns N' Roses over Motley Crue. And in the sense that their songs, like when Motley Crue writes a song, they're probably writing like, oh, let's write a song about this. Yeah. Or Guns N' Roses is like, hey, let's write about what happened to us, like real experiences versus like the cartoon version of Hollywood life. That's all.
I don't
know.
You're gonna get me on a tangent here because I would love to do a show like the 10 greatest hard rock bands of all time. You know.
Oh yeah, we can do it.
I
we can totally
would love
do
to
it.
do one of those. So yeah, I'm not gonna say it. I won't even
Yeah.
start saying it. We'll just throw that in the.
We'll do it, Bill.
Put it in the queue. We'll do it. Okay.
We'll
All right.
do it. It'll be fun.
All
right. So
Sorry.
check that show out. You can check that out at letsgopodcast.com and listen, tell Rick, screw the crew. So there you go. All right. So that being said, we will wrap up this episode of the Batman on Film podcast. Please head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review, but tack it on with some comments. Tell everybody, hey man, love listening to the Batman on Film podcast. We have a lot more episodes coming up. We actually have so many ideas and shows coming up. I don't know how we're going to get them all out because we're going to do that Superman follow-up show with Clow on the comics. And then I know even Eric and Pete have an idea for some shows. And so we're just trying to plan
John
them all
Brearley
out,
wants to do a show.
Oh yeah, John Brearley want to do the comic.
People want to do this Dark Knight commentary show. Like there's all kinds of stuff.
So a whole bunch of stuff will be coming out on the show, and now that we're going to have these like episodes with Bill, they'll be a little more focused. So yeah, it's gonna be good. We got good stuff coming out. So please, again, leave us a positive review on iTunes, and then go to our patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm. Help us out there, and yeah, share these shows on your social media, and that's it. So for everybody here, announcer Rachel is going to take us out.
Hey now! You've been listening to the Batman on Film podcast, a proud member and the sponsor of the Batman Podcast Network, BatmanPodcastNetwork.com. You can listen to the BOF podcast on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, TuneIn, and wherever good podcasts like this one can be found. Want to advertise on the BOF podcast? Go to advertisecast.com/the Batman on Film Con podcast. Follow Jett on Twitter at Batman on Film and on BOF's Facebook fan page at facebook.com/Jett.BatmanOnFilm. Email Jett via Jett@batman-on-film.com. For Jett, Justin, and Ryan, I'm announcer Rachel. Thanks for listening.